Here we are, day 2 of this project. Came in yesterday, demoing out the ceiling. Since I have 24 on center, you can see the ceiling joist here and over there. It's not really sufficient enough for tile. Basically, the deflection is too much, so I fixed that by putting blocking in between. That's all properly nailed in with framing nails and screwed in where I couldn't get them. Get nails in, so it's all screwed in, good to go. So I'll hang the board today. I'll also frame this box out here, the fan. I put some new tape up there. The fan's boxed in, mounted really nice. So today we're gonna hang board here. Day 3 back in this project. So yesterday I came in, I was able to hang all the board on the ceiling. Everything is fastened according to industry standards for foam board, which is roughly every 6 inches or so. So that's all good to go. Screwed out the ceiling to get it flat going this way. So anything that's slightly different, we got it flat as we can for the ceiling, so we're not messing with it too much on the ceiling. Okay, so first step, I'm wiping down the foam board. The one that's on the left is Latticrete hydro band board, and that really doesn't have a absorptive surface on it. But I'm wiping down all that thin set I have on there because that is absorptive, so you want to kind of give it a drink so it doesn't suck out the moisture. You want to do this on any tile installation when you have a really absorptive, wicking, thirsty, you could say, substrate before you spread your mortar. That would just give you a lot more time to work with it. If you just put it on there and don't come back for 10 minutes or 5-10 minutes, it's going to be actually flashed off and it'll be skinned over. So take that step first. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to obviously key in a substrate flat side trowel. It really helps create the best bond you can get. I'm using a 1/4 inch superior notch trowel, which is a special trowel that you want to use for the larger tiles. It allows really good coverage by just pressing in. You don't have to move it that much, but if you can, it helps even more. This again is a superior notch. Spread it all in one direction. Ideally you want to go the short way of the tile, that way the air gets out a lot easier. Okay, I'm using the same style trowel, and I'm putting on the back of the tile, same process, key it in, then notch it, and this is a 1/2 inch version. So I got a 1/4 inch on the ceiling, I'll use a 1/2 inch on the back. Now this was during, believe it or not, the spring of 2024 when we had the earthquake. So when I got this thing up, I'm doing this actually by myself, okay? I got on there, collapsed the ridges, but remember this tile with thin set on it is really heavy, so if I had an assistant or helper, that would really help right here. But if you watch here and wait, I'm going to show you this thing actually comes down on me. So what I did is I took it back down, retroweled everything, make sure everything's in the consistency. And if you're doing this by yourself, I have some little spring jack stands there. You want to make sure you have those ready to go to hold this thing up, because yes, you can have the best mortar in the world and do everything right, but there's always a chance of it coming down. In this case, I had an earthquake, and I'm pretty sure that's why this tile came down. So wait for it any second now. This thing is going to want to come down on me, and thankfully I was able to catch it, and it didn't break. I didn't have to redo anything. I didn't get injured in the process. I really got lucky on this project. So make sure, see, right there and then this bad boy came down. I mean, that scared the living bejesus out of me. I couldn't believe it when it happened, because I've done a lot of ceiling tiles. I've never had them come down like this. So I took it back down and retroweled it. So I took everything out. I remixed the mortar to make sure, because it was actually a little bit too stiff for my liking. When you're doing ceilings, you want to have the right consistency. You don't want it too stiff so it doesn't get a good bond. You don't want it loose, because then it's not gonna hold it where it needs it. So you have to kind of get it at the right consistency. So take your time, learn from my mistakes here. I had a little bit on the stiff side trying to make it work, but it wasn't all my fault. I'll give some fault to the earthquake that kind of happened right there and then, because a client actually came into me and said, "Are you okay? We just had the earthquake." And I didn't even feel it at the time, because I was so focused on this that I was in the zone. I couldn't believe that would just happen, but the earthquake definitely has something to do with this. But again, having the mortar at the right consistency is key. and having everything nice and flat for a ceiling is very, very important as well. So again, 1/4 inch on the ceiling, 1/2 inch on the back. Same process. I get it up there, put my jack stands, and then it's good to go and work out from there. Having these suction cups as well makes a huge difference. I've had them for years. I got it for a job, and any type of large format tile, you want to have a good suction cups. This is smooth, kind of like a glass finished tile, so they get really good suction. They make all different kinds, but having that makes a huge difference to be able to handle these tiles and whatnot. So I'm just moving around, getting it kind of right where I want it, because I have lines there that I'm going by, and I have the exhaust fan, so everything's kind of have to be where I need it. Then I'm getting my jack stand right in place, making sure everything is right where I want it, and then I kind of go from there. Now I've got the tile approximately right where I want it. I'm using my beading block. This is a special tool that they make for large format tile, and by beating it around, you're getting it beating it around. Don't get your mind twisted here, but embedding the tile into the mortar here really makes a huge difference with coverage, especially in a large tile like this. But by notching both sides, even if you have an area that's only kind of touching each other, you kind of have like a zipper effect to it, so you're still going to get really good coverage by notching both sides of it. I would highly recommend that when you're doing it on a ceiling. Notching both sides in really any scenario works really well. It gets you better coverage but even more so when you embed it, you're even going to do even better. But I have the block there to embed it into large format tiles. They sell vibrating tools as well that are made for large format tiles. They work really well. I haven't got one because I don't get large format jobs all the time. If I did, I would get one, and at some point I probably still will, because it really helps you embed the tile into the mortar really well. At the time I just didn't have one for this project, but by using that block, it works out pretty damn well. So yes, I'm just going to keep on going with the project here. Same process with every tile. Key the substrate, notch both sides, put it in, and I did use a leveling system on here, aka a lippage tuning system. And on this one I use Remodeling with the 1/8 clips. I like using the wedges a lot. Sometimes you use MLT ones on jobs. It's either one of the two. It's either going to be wedge style leveling system, which I prefer Remodeling. If not, it's going to be usually MLT. So stay tuned. The rest of the video is pretty much going to be doing the install here. If you have any questions all about this install, or maybe you want it done at your house, or you have questions, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you with your project, or even for some consulting as well if you need that. Alrighty. Okay, that was a bear doing by myself. Definitely be nice to have someone, but got it up there. This one came down on me, so what I did is I let it put it down, remix the mortar, added it's a tiny bit of water, loosen up, it was a little bit too stiff. Retroweled the ceiling and retroweled the tile, put it up back up there, and then it held pretty damn good. So, but I always had the jacks here to hold them, especially the big tiles. Small ones over here, you're able to get up there and put enough pressure to collapse the ridges, but these big ones are a lot harder. So basically I put it up there, kind of slam it up, not too hard, but a little bit force slamming up. Push it in and then back and forth multiple times, and I also take this tamper here, this guy, and I whack it. Bing, bing, bing. Make sure everything is pushed in, everything is collapsed and best as I possibly can get it. So that's the deal here. That's all in. That's what she looks like. So came out pretty damn good.